And I talked about innovation and partners already as key elements of sustainability. And those two are so important to us being able to achieve our goal of basically replenishing the product volume that we produce. So by 2020, we want to be 100% water neutral. So to do that, we really had to work with partners, large and small, as big as World Wildlife Fund, down to a small conservancy group in a community, to figure out what kind of projects could we do in a watershed. So just to explain a watershed, think about Atlanta, and where does our drinking water come from? Okay, it's this wide area that includes the lakes and the rivers, and it includes rainfall. That's our watershed. So the projects we do are to make those watersheds as healthy as we can. So imagine doing a project like restoring natural flows to a part of the Everglades, taking out invasive species from the Rio Grande in Big Bend National Park. We did a project in the mountains of California to really improve the health of a river that was carrying snowmelt. And then right here in our home state of Georgia, which is a huge agricultural community, we're doing a project with variable rate irrigation. You've seen the pivot irrigators certainly driving down. Well, they use groundwater. And the project we're doing with the Nature Conservancy and the USDA and the local farmers is really to figure out a way to make sure that when we irrigate, we use the best possible amount of water at the right time. And so imagine that's an area that is not, Coca-Cola is not an agriculture company. Right. And what we want to learn then is through our partners, what's the best way to apply these new skills and these new projects. So every year we learn so much from all these partners. And I think without some of these partners, we'd never really be down the pathway we are with replenishment today.
That's awesome. We're going to follow up with you more about your partners, but right now we're going to take another break. We have the Coca-Cola Company with us, Bruce Karras, Vice President of the Environment and Sustainability Department. Stay tuned. Great information. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Dude, don't you even care?
Don't you know recycling works?
Welcome back. I'm Mary Darby, and I am the host of your show, Recycling Works TV, and today I have my guest with me, Judy Noles, with Keep South Fulton Beautiful. And we have our very special guest with us, Bruce Karras, Vice President of the Environment and Sustainability Department. Today's topic, Coca-Cola leads in zero waste initiatives to protect our climate. So far, we've been discussing with Bruce what they've been doing in terms of recycling, as well as water resources. And now we'd like to take a turn and look and see what they're doing with energy efficiency. Okay, Bruce, what are you doing? What type of products or programs or initiatives is Coca-Cola actually leading the way on in terms of saving energy and helping our communities?
Well, we have a number of things that are active right now, and I think you have to look at energy from a number of different directions. The first one is what are the basics, just like I talked about with water. You got to fix the basics. So one of the things we did was actually partnered with World Wildlife Fund. Looked at all of our facilities around the world, and we found what are the simple things that every plant manager would scratch his head and say, why aren't we doing that? So we have something called the Energy Efficiency Top 10.
Okay, cool.
So these are things that you could give to anybody. It's like compressed air leaks in industry are a huge energy loss, turning the lights on and off. Turning machines off when you're not using. So we have this list, and we've actually worked with our facilities, trained people on the basics, because sometimes people get so focused on the innovations that you forget about basics. So I've talked about partnerships and innovations already, right?
Yes.
So, innovations are coming in what you might call clean technology, renewable energy. And those are the things that I think all of us are kind of sitting on pins and needles waiting for what's the next best thing to come out. On one hand, a lot of these new things are always risky. So you never know if they're going to work exactly right. Sometimes they're expensive. But the nice thing about working for a company like Coke is we've actually been able to take some of these innovations and test them and try them. And one real unique thing right here in the Atlanta area is it's down by the airport. We have one of our biggest facilities. We're making, it's our freestyle product made there. And we've actually been able to take landfill gas from the Hickory Ridge landfill, which is not far from the airport, and pipe it over to the plant and run into what we call a cogeneration system, a combined heat and power system. So imagine it looks like basically 3 big car engines sitting there running, but they're using waste gas from the landfill. So we're running the plant on trash, essentially.
Awesome.
And this is a technology that's out there, and it's really a case of all the right things coming together. We have the Hickory Ridge landfill has been closed. It's nearby. We're able to pipe it to the plant, and it actually gives us a significant carbon emissions reduction for our whole North America system. But it was the kind of thing that all the right things came to play in terms of the equipment, the location, and also the company saying we need to try something different.
Exactly.
Because we knew that this plant would have an energy footprint. So that really makes sure that our footprint for that plant is small. Along with that, we've tried some really interesting technologies like fuel cells. And I don't know if you've heard much about them.
Yes.
But imagine a technology where you plug in natural gas
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
on one end and electricity comes out the other. So we have 4 plants around the country that are running off of that technology. It's very clean, and the only emissions are heat, a little bit of carbon dioxide, and a little bit of water vapor.
Very good.
So it's fascinating. And we've also done some work with our distribution centers with solar power. I know a lot of people look to solar. I think it's going to continue to develop, and it's going to probably have its niche. But for us, we've done it at these distribution centers. They're operating. We're learning a lot about it every day. And with all these energy sources, you have to really learn they're not always a complete replacement for what we have today. And I think the other piece that was fascinating was really being able to get into diesel-electric hybrid for our heavy delivery
okay.
trucks. So when you see those big old trucks
Right.
going down the road,
Mhm.
they're very heavy, and so not every engine can pull that weight. So we worked with a company, it was called the Eaton Corporation, to develop this technology. And so it uses 20 to 30% less fuel, which is something that's important to us. So that's an energy saver in the long run.
Right.
And we've got a fleet of about, it's just under 800 trucks in North America, and I think that's the biggest diesel-electric hybrid fleet in that size of vehicle. And we've done some testing with all-electric trucks, with compressed natural gas trucks. So all of these technologies are out there, and it's an exciting time because they're being developed. And the trick is being able to pick the right one. We
Right.
don't always know the right one.
Right, exactly.
But we're willing to try those things and test them. And that's the real joy in working in this kind of field, sustainability environment, is when you get with a company like Coca-Cola. And I get to work with people who might be in the fleet operation side that are really interested in trying these technologies. And we work together truly to find something that maybe gives us a better future.
That's great.
Did you know that in Atlanta, one of the biggest uses of water is really irrigation of lawns? And that's almost every community around the country. So those are things that people can do at the home and really ask themselves, do I need to water the lawn every day?
Right, exactly.
And those are simple things, but they all make a difference.
Make a big difference. Well, we thank you so much for being on our show, but we're all out of time. It went by so fast.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I did.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Coca-Cola is really leading the way in zero waste initiatives, and we're so happy to have you on our show and to share some of those initiatives with us. Bruce Karras, Coca-Cola, Vice President of the Environment and Sustainability Department. Thank you so much for being with us.
RQ is the name of the game to allow you to show off all your brain on how and why recycling works with Jesse the Deer to help the earth. So step right up and take a chance by answering the questions fast as you can.